The President, please be seated. The court is now back in session. We would like to now hand over to the co-prosecutor to continue putting questions to this witness.
Mr. President, thank you. Mr. Suan Kanil, in the Central Zone office, were you and Chien, the telegram translator, allowed to work in the same office?
Response. Yes, we were. We were in the same office, holding different functions. I was the Morse code operator when he was a telegram translator or decoder.
Thank you. I want to deal now with telegrams from the centre to you at the zone. And in your OCIJ interview, E3/344, ERN's English 00384429, French 00426148, and Khmer 0037349. You said that there was a schedule that was set by the centre level for telegrams to the zone, and the schedule was how I knew the telegram came from the centre. Is that correct?
Response. According to the technicality of telegram, we had our own rule. From the center, the zone to the center, we would be allowed to communicate with them on 2 occasions only, 2 times only per day, 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. However, later on there was another radio communication. This radio communication is only one-way communication. In other words, from the lower level to the upper level, we could do that, but not the other way around.
I'm concentrating with these questions on telegrams from the centre to you at the zone. Can you perhaps then picture that I'm at the centre and I'm sending a telegram to you at the zone? What contact was there between the zone telegram receiver and the centre telegram sender before a telegram was sent, in the moments before, please?
Response. It is not difficult to get back to you on this, because as a technician myself, I can say that normally we would send our telegrams out and we have our schedule, the list of contacts. And on my side, for example, we name ourselves as A, and our partner of communication would be named B. Every 5 minutes we would be communicating and using this code. By repeating this, the other person would know this code number and be ready to communicate. Otherwise, we would not be able to communicate at all. And we never had mistakes. And I had been doing this all along alone, and so at one point I was in charge of 5 devices, radio communication devices at the same time.
So, I'm at the centre, I'm sending you a telegram at the zone. We're in contact before the telegram's sent to make sure that we're both ready. And then using Morse code, dit, 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 da, 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 dit, 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 or something similar. I at the zone send a telegram to, I at the centre send the telegram to you at the zone. And it's coded, it's in secret code. Is that correct?
Response. In our communication from center to the zone, as I already stated, it was time when we were allowed to do that, and there were code names we used to communicate one another. If we had to send some messages, then we would tell our partner that we would be sending the message in any given time. And if the message was urgent, it was also communicated to the person in the communication to make sure that priority was made. They used some kind of code or sign, a universal sign to communicate one another. And the reason I say that we used some kind of universal signs because I see French letters as A, D, D, something like that.
Right, so if I send you a telegram, I'm at the centre, I'm sending a telegram to you at the zone. How did you write down the message? Just on any piece of paper, or was there a special book? How did you write out the telegram that you'd received?
Response. Telegrams normally came in numbers or digits. And at the zone, if I would like to send a letter to the sector, then a secretary or assistant of the sector would draft the letter and have it translated so that it could be sent to me. Rather, it was drafted and then decoded into numbers so that we could then send it out. So this is the rule. There was rule and norms in doing this.
I just want to break that down. You've written down numbers as the telegram receiver. And those numbers need to be decoded from numbers into letters. Is that correct?
Response. Yes, it is. Yes. The letter would be written into numbers and then decoded into letters.
But the person who did the decoding wasn't you. Was it Chon or somebody else in the translation unit?
Response. As I stated already, it was Chien who was personal assistant to Kai Pok, and he was the telegram decoder or translator. And I was the one who actually input these coding or numbers into the device so that I could send them out.
I'm trying to break it down into really small stages. You've received the telegram. The telegram's been decoded. But what would happen with K-Polk? Would K-Polk see every telegram?
Response. Every telegram that sent to the zone had to be sent directly to him, and then after receiving the telegrams he would then send them to his telegrams decoder so that they could be decoded into letters.
So, telegram received, telegram written down, telegram decoded, telegram to K-Polk. Now, if this telegram that I at the centre have sent to you at the zone needs to be sent on to the sector, how did that happen? How did it get to the sector from the zone?
Response. When telegrams were sent from center to zone, we had different coding. And then from zone to sector, we would have different telegram decoding table. And it is more complicated because they had to do their best to make sure that it could not be tracked by the satellite.
Now, we know that there's a schedule of timings for the centre to contact the zone by telegram. What if the zone was passing on the telegram to the sector? Was there also a schedule of timing for a telegram from the zone to the sector, please?
Response. Indeed, there were schedule of timings. They would not do that when the time was overlapping with another schedule. For example, at 5 p.m. we would be communicating our message from sector 41 to 42, and then we would then set the time to a different one so that we could do that properly. If we had many or quite a few devices, then that would not be a big problem, but we didn't.
Let's deal with a concrete example. In your OCIJ interview E3/411, English ERN 00390077, French 00424036, Khmer 00373510. You said that if the centre wanted to invite the sector secretaries to attend a meeting at the zone, this would be done by telegram. Is that correct?
Response. That's the order of the flow. Center to zone, zone to sector, and sector to district.
Right. I now want to deal with the telegrams in the reverse direction. What I mean is a telegram from a sector to you at the zone, which needed to be forwarded to the centre. And in your OCIJ interview E3/344, ERN English 00384429, French 00426148, Khmer 00373498, you said this, and I quote, every telegram related to the sectors which was sent to the central zone had to go through my place. So is that correct? Telegram from the sector to you. You were the person who dealt with such telegrams.
Response. Yes, it is correct.
And in the same interview, you said the telegrams coming from the sectors were not on a regular basis. Each day, I received only one telegram from the sector, or sectors. But in 1978, the telegrams were sent to us more often. Is that correct?
Response. Yes, it is.
Is there the same contact between the sector telegram man and you as the zone telegram man, where you're making regular contact before the telegram's actually sent to make sure that both operators are ready for the telegram?
Response. That is correct.
Telegram comes into you at the zone from the sector, translated, and then it's sent up to the zone. Would KPAUK see the telegram from the sector to the zone before it went up to the centre?
Response. Kaipok had to be informed of the telegram, and there was a logbook. For example, how many telegrams were sent in, and we had to have them register properly. Otherwise, we would be in trouble if we missed the telegrams that were sent in.
So did you record in the logbook every telegram coming in and every telegram going out?
Response. Yes, I did.
And so we're clear, in your zone, the central zone, we have three sectors: Sector 41, Sector 42, and Sector 43. And they each had their own telegram operators. Is that correct?
Response. Yes, it is.
Mr. Cannell, I'm going to move on now, please, to some specific examples of telegrams. Mr. President, with your leave, can I please hand to Mr. Suan Keneal telegram E3/519?
The President, you may proceed, and court officer is now instructed to bring the document from the co-prosecutor to the witness.
Mr. President, can I also ask for permission for this document to go up on the screen, please?
The President, you may proceed.
Mr. Suan Keneal, just take some time, please, to familiarise yourself with this document. We can see that in the top left-hand side of the page, telegram number 32. At the bottom of the page, we can see that this was a telegram sent by Comrade Polk was sent on the 29th of March 1978, and it was received on the 29th of March at 2300 hours. The telegram at the bottom has copied to Nuon, office and documentation. And the telegram is addressed to Dear Missed Committee 870. Now, what did you understand, if anything, Committee 870, or just the numbers 870, to mean or signify?
Response. This telegram is genuinely the real telegram, because I can confirm this by way of looking at the text that was typed, and the number and the band here were very familiar, and in the telegram process, for example, if the other end of the line did not receive enough text, then we would also note on the letter, like number 295 band on the top left represents the number of texts sent to the other side end of the line, and if they didn't receive well, we should also note the text. But this telegram was well received. Every 1 minute we could proceed up to 60 band. So altogether it took us about 5 to 6 minutes to finish this telegram. I was not a fast typist or telegram typer, but others could do that very quickly.
We can see in the first few words of the telegram, K. Polk is saying, I would like to report to Ankar. So who was this telegram received by?
Response. This telegram was reported to Angkar, so it's up to the telegram decoder who had to arrange the text and add some words to make sure that they look readable and understood. If I was the decoder myself, I would not translate the text as it appeared on this telegram. However, this is what we received from the decoder, and this is how we typed through the telegram. The term Angkar here is referring to the general group rather than to individual. So, by way of saying that the telegram addressed to Office 870, people would know who to send to.
Right, now let's just see what we learn about this telegram. It's from K. Polk. He says at the bottom, or towards the bottom of the telegram, the substance of this letter I copy from Comrade Arn's letter in Sector 41. So, do I have it right that this telegram was being sent from the zone up to Angkar based on information from Comrade Arn in Sector 41?
Response. It is correct. I also may wish to elaborate a bit. Something happened at Sector 41 at that time. There was a group of bandits and they were arrested. And Sector 41 sent telegrams to us to send to the zone who reported all the way to the center. This is the message that I remember detailing the event happened at Sector 41.
And then we can see what K. Park wanted to happen from the words at the bottom of the telegram. Angkar, please ask Comrade Met, are there such reported names? If so, please inform by communicating with Comrade Arn to receive these competents. If not, Angkar, please inform back. So do I have it right that Angkar was going to respond to this letter with instructions?
Response. I can respond to this precisely. In the text, I may also add, 2 combatants were involved in this case. They came home. The combatants worked with mate at the airport. And when they went home, they didn't have the permission letter. And they were stopped by people at Sector 41. But and the report had to be informed to mate. Mate, the communication had to go through some proper channel because we could never overstep this boundary, and this is how it happened.
Overstepping the boundary. Why couldn't K. Polk just send a telegram straight to Met?
But if it was not in line with the procedure of telegrams, then it will not be accepted. And of course, at the zone and the airfield did not have any line of communication. I mean, the telegram was not communicated. So the zone cannot send any telegram across to the airport field. In other words, no telegram could be sent to mate.
And concentrating at the bottom of the telegram, who's Nuon?
Nuon is, of course, Nuon Chia.
And why would he have to know about this? I did not graph this internal communication, but that's what we were asked to do. We had to copy it to Uncle Nuon. It was the order, and I was told that he was at the center, so we had to send it to the center. And here, of course, Uncle Nuon refers to Nuon Chia. So, I mean, where would the order have come from to tell you to send it to Nuon Chia?
The order was from the zone. I was a MOS operator. I had no decision. And it was the decision by the zone, and the zone would order me to type it accordingly and send it out to the center. And I did not know who were at the center levels. I was in a very low position. I did not know who they were at the center level.
But the order to send telegrams to Nuon Chia, would that come from, I don't know, K. Polk, the translator, somebody else at the zone?
As I said earlier, the order was handed down through hierarchical structure. For example, if anything happened in Sector 41, then it has to be reported to the zone, and the zone had to relay it to the center for decision. And that was the hierarchical lines of communication then.
Thank you, Mr. Connell. I would like, Mr. Suan Connell, I would like now, please, to hand to you, with Mr. President's permission, please, document number E3/932. And, Mr. President, can that please also go up on the screen?
The President, you may proceed. Court officer is now instructed to obtain the document from the prosecutor and hand it over to the witness.
Mr. Suan Connell, again, just take a moment to have a look at this. We can see that this document, in the top left hand of the page, is a telegram 02. The radio band of 680 is given. It's headed to Respected Committee 870. From the end of the telegram, we can see that it was sent on the 12th of April 1978 from Comrade Polk, and that it was received on the 13th of April at 20:15 hours. As to the substance of the telegram, the first line reads, I would like to give an additional report on the situation of the battlefield around road number 7. In the final parts of the telegram, K. Polk is saying, I have laid down clear measures to be taken in each prongs of the west and east battlefields. And then I would request UNCAR to report on the above situations. Now, you said that telegram activity was busier in 1978. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. In 1978, it was busier. And if I look at the substance of this telegram, I knew about it as well, because at that time the situation was looming in the East Zone. At that time, Kaipok was on duty because other cadres were summoned for a meeting in Phnom Penh. So he was in charge of the warfare in the eastern part of Mekong River, and he was the one who communicated through this telegram to the center. He was at that time stationed somewhere in Suong. So he prepared the telegraph, and then he asked us, who was stationed at Kampong Cham, to send it to the center. And he undersigned the telegram, and there were more number or code number there. So that was the real telegram sent at the time.
At the bottom of the telegram, under the copied extract, taking the names in turn, firstly, uncle. Who did you understand that to be?
I do not recall exactly who he was. I do not know many people at the center level, but my understanding of the situation at that time, Uncle here would refer to Pol Pot. And Uncle Nguyen, right below Uncle, was... Would you like me to describe other individuals down there? Uncle Nguyen, Uncle Van, and Won, Office and Documentation. I did not know two of the names. As for Uncle Nguyen, I know him. It was referred to Nguyen Chia. But as for Uncle Van and Uncle Won and An Von, they were revolutionary names at the time, and I did not know them.
Thank you, Mr. Suan Kanil. Next, please, Mr. President, document number E3/516. Can I please ask for permission for the witness to see this document and for it to go up on the screen?
President, you may proceed, Mr. Prosecutor, and court officer, please bring the document to the witness for his examination.
Mr. Suhan-Keneal, this is a document which is in the top left of the document. We have Brother Van, Telegram 10, 393 characters, and addressed to Dear Beloved Com 870. From the end of the telegram, we can see it is from Comrade Polk, that it was sent on the 4th of May 1978 and received on the 5th of May 1978 at 1000 hours. And K. Polk, in paragraph 1 on page 1, is reporting in these words: "We reached the battlefield in the evening of the 4th of April 1978 at 6:30 and have received Ankar's letter." He says at paragraph 5 that his forces have left Kampong Cham. Now, by looking at this, you've said already that the previous telegrams are real. Does this look to you like a genuine, real telegram?
Response. By my examination, this telegram is genuine, and telegram number 10 and character 393. And by looking at this, I know that this is the real or genuine telegram. If it was a handwritten one, it was different from this. And there was a signature by Kai Polk. I did not know about his signature at that time, because he was in charge of Central Zone. I don't understand why he was assigned to be responsible elsewhere. At that time, he was a member of the National Defense Committee, and normally when there was any immediate situations, he would be assigned to handle the task. At that time, the warfare in the eastern part of the country was looming, and he was assigned to be responsible for that. And then he communicated with the center through telegrams to inform them that he had already departed or left for the designated areas of responsibility. He wanted to inform his superior that he was complying with the order. And this was the matters of military affairs. That's why it was rather secretive, and it was a matter of urgency.
I'd like to move on, please. And the next topic heading is this. Communication between one zone and another zone. Now, in your OCIJ interview E3/344, English ERN 0038 4430, French 0042 6150, and Khmer 00373499. You were asked, could this be done? In other words, could one zone communicate with another zone directly? And I quote your answer. No. Absolutely not. The communication between one zone to another without going through the centre could not be done. Do you stand by that?
Response. I still maintain my statement. But in order to enlighten Mr. Prosecutor, as I have mentioned earlier, that there was no telegram communication between zones unless there was permission from Office 870. And here you may wish to ask me why Kaipok was assigned to be responsible in another zone. I can enlighten you, because at that time
Forgive me, Mr. Surinkanil. I don't want, please, to ask you about why K. Polk was being responsible for another zone. Forgive me for interrupting, but time is running. In your OCIJ statement, you went on to say same-page references. The investigator said to you, well, why not? Why can't one zone communicate directly with another zone? Your answer, I quote, that was because they did not want us to communicate with each other directly. On the next page, it must go through the centre first. Do you stand by those statements?
Yes, I still maintain my statement.
You also said in a separate OCIJ interview, E3/74, English ERN 00384690, French 00426163, and Khmer 00373520. You were talking about approvals from the upper echelon. We could not do anything without the approval from the upper echelon. It was not possible. It was the instruction of the upper echelon. Is that correct?
Response. First, I maintain my statement with further elaboration. At that time, the subordinate had to respect the order of the superior.
Mr. President, can I please show to the witness document number E3/254 and ask for permission for that to be shown on the screen, please.
President, you may proceed.
We can see on this document, E3/254, it is a telegram, number 32. It has 295 characters. It's from M870. It's dated the 20th of March 1978, and it is copied to Bong Si or Sai, I don't know how to say it, and Bong Polk. So this is from 870. And the telegraph says, be informed that the East Zone has sent a copy of a report on the enemy's activities in Mok Kampul to the office by requesting the office to send to you, brother. Brother, please monitor this situation and take any measure based on the reality by communicating with Mok Kampul. So, pausing there. This is from 870. And do I have it right that the East Zone has sent a report to Office 870?
Response. To my understanding, by looking at this telegram was copied to Brother C and Brother Poke, and the sending office was M870, and M870 was the center, the office of the center. So Office 870 sent this telegram and sent to Mok Kampul, and there was a report from the East Zone to Office 870, and 870 sent this letter to this telegram to Mok Kampul, and of course Brother C was copied, and Brother Poke was also copied here, and there was an order that this telegram be copied to Brother C in order that he was informed that the problem has been handled. That's why there was an order that we had to copy to both of them. So there was an order from the upper authority that I had to copy to them. So once again, M870 was different from Office 870. One is M870 and the other one was Office 870. And if it was sent to Office 870, they would address to, for example, Uncle Noon or so.
The point, Mr. Suankanil, is this, that prior to this being sent, the East Zone has sent a report about the enemy's activities in Mok Kampul. Now, which zone was Mok Kampul in?
Mok Kampul was in the central zone at that time.
So if there was enemy activity going on in Mok Kampul in the central zone, but that was being observed by the East Zone, could the East Zone contact the central zone directly? Or did it have to go through somewhere else?
As a matter of fact, East Zone would report to the center. But if you look at this telegram, the Mok Kampul and East Zone was close geographically. So at that times they copy to Mok Kampul, one copy, and then they also send to the center. That's why when it was sent back from the M870, it copied to the Mok Kampul. So if it refers to the 870 committee, they would not address them by Bong or brother. They would address to them as uncle.
Now, in terms of the supervision of your telegram work at the Central Zone, you said in your OCIJ interview E3/411 that K. Polk used to call you twice to meet him personally to talk about the telegram work and that he instructed you to work seriously and respect the working schedule so that work would not be slow, and to organise additional staff for the telegram section. Is that correct?
ខ្ញុំសូមរក្សាចម្លើយនឹង
That is correct. I maintain this statement, but I would like to clarify a little bit further. At that time, the day tomorrow, Pol Pot would visit Kampong Cham province, and then this telegram was received by me at around 8 o'clock. And at that time, the weather was not good enough. I knew that there was a telegram sent from age 70, and at that times I actually knew that the telegram was to be sent from the center to me, but I did not receive. I did not know what was going on. And then the next morning, Pol Pot arrived before Kai Pok woke up in the morning. Actually, at around 7, when Kai Pok got up, he saw Pol Pot, and he was surprised that Pol Pot was there. And Pol Pot asked him whether or not Kai Pok had received his telegram, and Kai Pok told him that he had not received the telegram. Then Pol Pot went back, and I was summoned. And I went along with nephew of Kai Pok. And then I told them that no, I could not go alone. I had to bring a witness with me. So I brought Kai Pok's nephew with me at that time. Then I was asked, I was blamed why I dealt with this recklessly. He warned me that I would run the risk of being imprisoned or detained also. So I told him that please let me explain the situation first. And I did explain him. I told him that it was the rainy season at that time. I was a very diligent staff member. I was responsible for my task, but at that time the weather was not good enough to send anything out at that time. So he tolerated me, and he actually asked me to write whatever had happened. So I reported everything, that I was a punctual, very self-disciplined staff, and I reported everything that actually they at the center they had a lot of machine, but for our part we only had one machine or so, so we did not receive or send anything out properly. So then, of course, Kai Pok was also from the very low background as me as well, so he understood the situation. So at that time, he forgave me following my explanation, and I had all the report, and I had the witness as well. So I report the reality of what had happened. The President. Thank you, Mr. Prosecutor and witness. Court officer is now instructed to take back all the documents from the witness. And Mr. Prosecutor, the time is now appropriate for the day adjournment. The chamber will adjourn for today, and we will resume on Monday, starting from 9 in the morning. And the hearing on Monday, the chamber will resume hearing the testimony of Mr. Stuan Kanil. And then, if we can conclude it, we continue to hear the testimony of TCW 620. This is for the party's information and for the members of the public as well. Mr. Sun Kanil, your testimony has not yet been concluded, so the chamber wishes to invite you to come to testify in the court again on Monday next week, starting from 9 o'clock in the morning. Court officer is instructed to facilitate with the witness support section to facilitate the travel and accommodation of the witness and have him back to this courtroom on Monday next week. Security guards are also instructed to bring the co-accused back to the detention facility and bring them back to this courtroom on Monday, the 17th of December 2012, before 9 o'clock in the morning. And as for Mr. Ieng Sari, he is to be brought to the holding cell downstairs where the audio-visual equipment is there for him to follow the proceeding remotely. The court is now adjourned.